Hi, today we are dealing with cat command, and there are like 9 similar, almost identical tasks related to this command, so I think we can deal with all of them in a single session. And let's first try to figure out how this command works, what can we do with it in the terminal, and then we will try to solve each task separately on the website. So let's first open man page on cat and see what they are telling us about it, what the authors of the command want us to know. So already in the first line, we see that it is used to remove sections from each line of files. What are the keywords? What does it mean? Files are telling us that we are dealing with text, and lines of files means that it's expecting the text to be divided by lines, but we can also provide a single line, and it should also work. And what is it supposed to do with this line? It is supposed to remove some part of it. This part is called here section, and we have a lot of flexibility using the flags that are specified below to specify what exactly do we mean by this section. So we can tell it, for example, to remove a number of words from a line, or even characters. So we can also tell it that we care only about the 5th, or only about the 6th character, or only about the 5th and 7th character. So even we can remove parts of the line based on characters and so on. So that's pretty much it. We are filtering out stuff from lines of text. We are cutting it out, and that's what we are using cut for. And here are our options. What can we use to specify exactly what we need, exactly what we want it to do? The flags that we care about are -c, -d, and -f. And -c refers to characters, so individual characters. And here it tells us that it is used to select only these characters, and that might be a little bit misleading because here we are providing the indices, the positions of those characters. Yeah, so if I want only to see 5th character, I would use this flag. Delimiter allows us to specify with which character or number of characters the fields are separated. So we can deal with cut per character or per field, or maybe the better name for it, the more normal name, or the name that more people would expect, is simply word. So you can think about fields like word in a sentence. If you have a sentence like hello world, we could use cut to separate this into 2 fields like hello and word, and maybe we only care about the 2nd field or the 1st field. Whatever, we can use cut to filter out stuff either based on characters itself or words or fields as you prefer. And delimiter is used to specify what separates those words. It could be a tab as it is by default. It could be a space. It could be, for example, 2 dots, whatever you want. And fields, the same as with characters, only here we are dealing with the whole words, not with individual characters. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. We can quit the man, and now we can try out some stuff. Let's display hello world with echo. That's the thing that we know already. And now let's use the pipe to provide some things to our hello world as an input to cut command. And now we can try out one of the flags. Let's see, maybe we can start with -c flag. And if I want to display the 5th character, I will do it like this. So the 5th character in this case is this O, and I can display characters from 5th till 8th. And that's it. And now if I wanted to display fields, let's say I care about the 1st field, it displayed the whole thing, the whole sentence. That's because the default delimiter is tab, and we don't have any tab here. But if I would specify the delimiter as a space, then I'm getting hello. And the 2nd field, the 2nd word in this case, is word. Okay, I think that's almost it. Let's see the tasks. Given n lines of input, print the third character from each line as a new line of output. It is guaranteed that each of the n lines of input will have a third character. Input format a text file containing n lines of ASCII characters. Constraint n is between 1 and 100. Output for each line of input, print its third character on a new line for a total of n lines of input. So the same thing repeated. We care about the third character. Let's see the example. Hello world, how are you? And so here's my third character. It's this L. In this case, it's R. And in this case, it's W. And everything matches our expectations. So we can simply use cut -c. We are using cut with characters. So we want to specify the third position, and the rest should be cutted out. Let's run the code. Processing, single test case, and here also every test case is green. So let's go to the second example. The second example, maybe we won't read everything because it's almost the same. We want to display the second and seventh character from each line of text. So it's the cut command, and we are going from 2 till 7. Did I mistype something? I haven't typed C, sorry. And it's still wrong. Ah, sorry. We don't want to from the second till 7th, we want second and 7th. So we have to use comma here. Yeah, I thought they meant range. Okay, that seems fine. Let's submit the code. And it's also fine. So now the third task. And here they want a range of characters starting from the second positions of a string and ending at the 7th positions, both positions included. Okay, well, I rushed a bit from 2nd to 7th. Let's see if it works. This time it should work. And we are already by our third task. And let's see the fourth. Display the first 4 characters from each line of text. Okay, so the same thing. C, F till 4. And from first character till 4th character. Did I mistype something? Oh, sorry. Yeah, this time it worked. I have to type a little bit slower because I'm getting too fast even for myself. Okay, so this time it was from the 1st to 4th. But as you see, it's the same. It's really the same task. I think they shouldn't make it to 9 tasks. It's pretty extreme because it's almost the same stuff. And here first we are getting something a little bit different. Given a tab delimited file with several columns, print the first 3 fields. A tab separated file with lines of ASCII text only. Okay, so there are n is between 1 and 100, and C, the number of columns, is between 2 and 100. Perfect. And what they want us to do, the first 3 fields. Okay, so the first 3 columns in this case. Okay, so this is the first column: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and so on. Then this is the second. This is the third. Okay, and the rest. Okay, there are many more columns, and all of them should be filtered out. So I think we know what we have to do. We are using cut now, not with -c. We are using cut with -f from first till third. And it works. Perfect. We finished the 5th cut problem. And now we should print the characters from 13th position to the end. Okay. So we are getting back to the characters. So -c once again. And from which one? From 13th, 13 here till the end. So we don't specify anything in the end of our range. And that's how we get to the end. Everything is green. Now we are on the 7th task, so only 3 more tasks left. Given a sentence, identify and display its fourth word. Assume that the space is the only delimiter between words. Okay, so which one? We care about the fourth word. Okay, so we are using cut. Now we have to check the delimiter, change the delimiter to space, and we want to get the fourth word, so the fourth field should be the case. It works. Perfect. And now the 8th task. Given a sentence, identify and display its first 3 words. Assume that the space is the only delimiter between words. First 2 words. Okay. Oh, I guess it's similar as the task before. We are separating the words by spaces, and we want fields from the first till the third. And now the 9th challenge. Given a tab-delimited file with several columns, similar as before, bring the fields from the second field to the last field. Cut -f, and from the second field to the last field. Let's submit the code this time without running it, because we've already figured out everything that is to be figured out about cut command.